Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create this awesome bouncing ball effect using CreateStudio. You may have noticed this effect in the Stomp Promo scene pack, where the ball bounces off text elements. It's already available in the scenes section, so you can jump right in and use it. Let's dive in and get started. I've already added a rectangle to my timeline to serve as a contrasting background for this demonstration. Next, I'll bring in another rectangle shape. To make this demo better, I want to use several rectangles to create something like stairs instead of the text you saw earlier. So, I'll duplicate the rectangle and make more stairs in different colors. Let's speed up this part a bit. And here we have our stairs. Now, I need some guidelines. I'll open the guidelines menu by clicking on this ruler icon right here. I click here and I add my first horizontal guideline. I grab this line and bring it here right at the top side of the first stair. I'll go ahead and add another horizontal guideline, positioning this one at the top of the second stair. I'll repeat the same process for the other stairs. Once all 4 guidelines are set, I can hide this panel by clicking here. Now, let's bring in the ball. I'll grab a circle, place it on the canvas, change its color, and resize it just a bit. Next, let's animate the circle. I'll focus on animating the vertical movement first. For the starting position, I'll move the circle up here on the canvas. I'll click to add an animation, choose position, and for easing I'll select easy. I'll shorten the animation a bit. With my playhead on the last keyframe and holding down the shift key, I'll move the circle down to the first guideline at the bottom. Next, I'll add another animation. Choose Easy Easing again, and under Properties, I'll select Position. Making sure my playhead is on the last keyframe, I'll move the circle upwards. Then, add another animation. Same settings, position with Easy Easing, and bring down the circle to the second guideline from the bottom. I'll keep adding a few more custom animations, following the same steps and settings, moving the circle up and down, back and forth, until it reaches the last guideline and eventually moves off the canvas. Let's hit play to see what we've animated so far. Alright, we've managed to get the circle bouncing up and down the stairs along the vertical axis. Now that we've got the vertical movement sorted, let's right-click on the circle element in the timeline and group it. Next, move the playhead to the very beginning and shift the new group containing our circle to the left side, just outside the canvas. This will be the starting point for our bouncing ball animation. With the group selected, I'll add a custom animation set to position with linear easing this time. I'll place my playhead right here where the first stair appears and adjust the length of the custom animation to match the time frame of that second stair. Now, with the playhead on the last keyframe. If you notice, the circle has moved from the upper position I initially set to this lower one. That's because the circle is moving inside its group boundaries, guided vertically by the custom animations we applied earlier. If I go inside the group and zoom out a bit, you can see how the circle travels down outside of the group boundaries. We can always extend or adjust the group boundaries by clicking Edit manually, expanding the boundaries, and then clicking Finish Editing. Now, the circle moves within the new group boundaries. I go back in the main timeline. You'll notice here that the group has changed from a square shape to a vertical rectangle. So, I'll just undo that and go back to the previous group settings. I'll place the playhead over the last keyframe of the recent animation we added to the group. Then, I'll grab the group and move it to make sure the circle touches the first rectangle, which represents the first stair. Next, I'll add another custom animation with the same settings, linear easing and position change. I'll align the last keyframe of this animation with where the second stair will appear on the timeline. This time, I'll click on the circle group, hold down the Shift key, and use the right arrow key to move the group to the right. Holding Shift locks the movement to the horizontal axis. So I'm only moving the circle horizontally without affecting its vertical position. Now, I'll add another custom animation using the same settings position with linear easing. Again, I'll place the playhead on the last keyframe, match the length with the next stair, select the circle group, hold down Shift, and move it to the right using the arrow key. I'll repeat this a few more times until the circle reaches the last stair. That will complete our animation of the bouncing ball climbing the stairs. Let's take a look at the result and see our bouncing ball in action. It turned out pretty good. Of course, with more time and adjustments, you can make it perfect. But the goal here is to demonstrate the process, not perfection right now. For an extra visual effect, we can take it a step further and animate the stairs to react when the ball hits them. To do this, I'll place the playhead at the very beginning of the first stair and make sure it's selected. Then, I'll add a custom animation. For this one, I'll choose Easy Easing and set the property to position. Next, I'll move the second keyframe to about halfway between the first and second stair, with the playhead still on the second keyframe and the first stair selected. I'll hold down the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows, and press the down arrow twice to slightly move the stair downward. To reverse that, I'll add another custom animation with the same settings. I'll align the last keyframe with the start of the second stair, and use the up arrow to bring the first stair back to its original position. Now, if we play back the animation, you'll see how the stair reacts when the ball hits it. By repeating this custom animation for all the stairs, each one will react when the ball touches them. And just like that, we've created a fantastic bouncing ball animation. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and picked up some useful tips along the way. If you found this content helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. Your support inspires me to produce more amazing tutorials just for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any feedback or challenges you've encountered while using CreateStudio? Please feel free to leave a comment below or let me know what tutorial you'd like to see next. Your input is incredibly valuable as we embark on this creative journey together. Thank you for joining me. Let's enjoy the process of animating and bring something truly remarkable to life.